I felt that the A-roll of the video you're watching here wasn't enough to explain what I was trying to get across. I've been thinking a lot lately. Been thinking about where I am in my life now, where I was 10 years ago. You know, I had a lot of plans for 2022, 2021, 2023. I had a lot of ideas and plans, and life gets in the way. 2020 was a year of mixed things. You know, the whole world was in the middle of a pandemic. There were ups, there were downs. I moved into my first house with Amber. You know, we got new pets. Don't know if you were ever aware, but we did actually have 2 rats and 2 rabbits that joined us. We had Twinkle and Twilight, and we had Splinter and Chip, the rats. Twinkle and Twilight were rabbits. Fortunately, we only have one of those rabbits now, because one of those rabbits did pass earlier this year. I've been making videos on this channel since 2011. One of my first proper videos was a figure review, which, looking back now, was some of the worst quality, but at the time it sort of didn't really single itself out. YouTube was still becoming what it is today. And of course, long form content is thriving just as much as short form content on YouTube, and I think YouTube has grown into, you know, it's taken advantage of trends that have kind of come into play, such as, you know, TikTok. You know, when I started YouTube, 15-second videos weren't really a thing. You know, no one watched 15-second videos. Like, what would be the point in that? Unless it was a quick viral video of something that was funny, like someone injuring themselves or something, of you being framed. But over the past year, 2022, and thinking about, you know, how was I going to celebrate my 10th anniversary on this channel, and I had some big plans. I was initially going to be bringing back a bunch of friends that kind of were there at the beginning with me on this channel, that were there when I really sort of started up, that were my Whovian friends, and that kind of thrived me to keep going and keep pushing. And, you know, some of them still make videos, some of them kind of went away. One of our Splinter, one of our rats, he also passed, so that was a bit of a downgrade for this year. I was happy. No, I was stressing. I was getting a bit stressed with a lot of stuff, but as a whole, I was happy. I suppose I was a little bit frustrated in a way because I wasn't producing the content I wanted to be making. I wasn't making the amount of films I were when I was living in Liverpool, and I guess the creativity and that kind of bubbling of creativity was inside me, wanting to be released, but it's not having the ability to. And I think it was not finding the time to film YouTube videos, not finding the ideas to film YouTube videos. But then I had this bubbling creativity where I wanted to create projects that I just didn't have the money to do. 2022 has kind of been a bit of a down year as well, really. Fortunately, I got made redundant at the end of September, so I'm no longer working in the job I was working in previously. And one thing I always said was I never really wanted to leave YouTube. You know, I felt that I had a place on this platform, and I felt that I could grow, but I always felt that it was a little bit of a struggle. Probably more because when I started, YouTube was still growing. Doctor Who YouTube wasn't as popular as it's not as popular now as what it was back then. I feel like there was a really good community. You know, the kind of community we had as Whovians on YouTube was very similar to the likes of Minecraft YouTubers nowadays. You know, there was a big tight-knitted community that kind of loved each other. You know, there wasn't all this online hate, and you know, while you did get hate, of course, and came with kind of the platform really, and putting yourself out there. It was something I suppose I wanted to endure, and I wanted to keep going and keep uploading. But around about 2015-16, my content began to slow down. You know, I got busy. I officially launched KKD Studios as a company this year, registered it in August, which took a big step forward. So yeah, it's an official company now. It is officially, rather than me just going under that name, it is an official company now, and we are looking to get some projects that I'm going to be speaking to some people about over the coming weeks. So there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of stuff to work, especially as one person, because until the company grows and we're making more money, I can't bring anyone else on board. I'm hoping by this time next year we can be at a position where I can hire someone into the company to essentially do a lot of day-to-day stuff whilst I'm busy doing other stuff, and we can really expand from there. There were times where I couldn't commit to certain videos that I wanted to upload, or I didn't have time to film. I was doing exams, you know. I left primary school, went straight through to high school, finished high school in 2016. I immediately started sixth form, which was 2 years, so I didn't finish that till I was 18. I immediately then went into university, which I didn't finish until I was sort of 20, and I didn't finish until during the lockdown. I suppose really lockdown I should have taken more advantage of, but I think that I just weren't in the motivational headspace to keep trying to pump content out when I was sat at home every day, and I just had no inspiration. I suppose when it comes to where I was and why I weren't making YouTube videos, a lot of it came down to the mindset I was in. A lot of it was down to the fact that at the time my mind was probably more focused on making sure I was happy, making sure that I was, you know, month in, month out, I was earning and living. And I suppose in a way, as a person that's naturally creative and wants to be creative and create new things, I wasn't being able to. And the job I was in, yeah, it was somewhat creative at times, but it weren't something that could ever fully be creative. There were a lot of limitations. Then, I suppose, after that, after university, after finishing my bachelor's degree, I sort of started working full-time, got a job, was also completing a full-time master's degree at the same time, which I've now finished. And you know, I was even considering doing a doctorate as well, and really pushing through my education, but it has been a bit of a struggle to try and juggle all that at once. I'm glad that I took the time away from YouTube. I feel like the Doctor Who content kind of started to slack off because there wasn't much happening. You know, we were having seasons of the series of the show. You know, we were having it split into two halves, where we were having part 1 and part 2, and it got a bit convoluted, and it was like, well, yeah, I could review every episode, but then what do I do between those episodes? How do I keep pumping content out and keep you guys engaged? And it was coming up with those ideas and not having the time to do that and put that time aside, and there was just so much that kind of went on. But 2022 has sort of been a year of reflection for me. I feel like I've, within my own headspace, silently been thinking about regrets of not celebrating my 10th anniversary, regrets of kind of not doing anything. You know, I feel like I've really let this channel down. While the subscribers have grown slightly, I feel like I have let the channel down a lot. And so I kind of feel that I am in a position now where I want to try and commit a little bit more to the channel. A lot of people said to me, oh, do you still do YouTube? Do you still make videos? And a lot of the times I'd just say, well, no, not at the moment. And you know, just this past week, I suppose someone said to me, have you got any videos in the works? And for the first time in a while, I can actually say, well, I've had a video in the works since June. It's just never been made public, and it's been getting edited and stuff. There's been, you know, the stuff that happens in that particular video that has since had developments, and things have changed, and things have moved forward, and you know, that's the reason why the next video that kind of comes out on the channel in December will be a very wholesome video. It'll be a video that kind of explains a lot. It'll be a video that kind of shows a trip and a holiday, and that kind of exploration of freedom, but it'll also express the kind of creativity and the kind of videos I really want to be doing going forward. And I feel like that's kind of where I'm falling my feet into, and I'm hoping that you guys will like that, because there's something else very similar that I'm also sort of background working on as well that I'd like to do next year. I'm not saying it'll be weekly uploads or even monthly uploads, but I haven't uploaded on this channel for a long time. I've been working on one video since June. Now, that video, albeit is quite a long video, and I want that video to be the last video, not on the channel, but the last video of chapter 1. The world of social media has changed massively. You know, people aren't consuming 25-minute videos on YouTube anymore. People want 15-second videos on TikTok, and while that is the mass majority, I do think there is a short amount of people that do prefer the long form stuff, because, you know, when I was younger, I would, instead of watching TV while I was eating my evening meal, I would be sat watching YouTube, and it could be people playing Minecraft, it could have been someone reviewing a Doctor Who figure, it could have been a Doctor Who figure adventures. And I didn't realise till the other day that I still have YouTube friends that I was friends with back in the early days of my channel that are still making Doctor Who figure adventures, and part of me does get bubbly to want to tell those stories again and do those again, but it's just not possible anymore. I still collect the Doctor Who figures, I still buy them, I still display them, but I've got so many that I could review that I've just not bothered reviewing. You know, I've just bought the B&M 8th Doctor's collector set. I went and purchased that the other day, and it'd be great to do a review of that, but reviews just don't do anything anymore. And I think maybe the review format needs to be switched up a little bit, and you know, that is something I'm working on, because 2022 I want to rebrand. I want to become a different brand and a different identity. I will still be the THEDOC1TH in a way, but I won't kind of go under that name. I feel that everything I've done previously, all the Doctor Who content, everything, you know, I've got more than one passion. You know, I do love Doctor Who, but I also love DC films, and I do love, you know, I love photography, I love making films, and of course I've just started my own business as well, making films and photography and videography, that kind of thing. And obviously I want to start growing that business, and part of that journey also allows me to connect to people, and I feel like I was really confident, and I was a really confident person when I was putting out videos, and I feel that since I kind of stopped doing it, my confidence has dramatically gone, and I think it was just because I'm not sat making things I enjoy anymore, and I feel that, you know, 2022 has been a time of reflection for me, and I really began to think about, well, you know, what goes on, and I feel that the video I've been working on since June can end quite nicely, and kind of wrap this year up quite beautifully, really, really showing the kind of the biggest experience I had this year, and it will probably also have an epilogue as well. I'll probably close off the video and then have an epilogue, and then I'll probably just kind of have another video very similar to this, just kind of explaining that that's the end of chapter 1, because I do feel that 2022 it's not my last year as the Doc11th. I will keep the channel the name the same, but I do want to rebrand the channel and really go for something different, and I kind of feel that I really want to go for something different, and I kind of feel that 2023 is the year to be doing that. 2023 is the year to start fresh, new year, new me. 2023 will be my 12th year on YouTube, and so I want to give it my best shot, because I do feel that the channel could have been so much more. I'm not going to promise that it's going to be all Doctor Who videos. I'm not going to promise that it's going to be all DC videos. I'm not going to promise that it's all going to be fun videos. You know, I want to do gaming. I enjoy playing Minecraft. I want to do Minecraft videos. I want to mess around with the channel and really pump out the content I want to make, rather than it being a one focused channel. And I think quite a few YouTubers that used to do that have realised they've actually got a lot more passions than just Doctor Who, and kind of limited themselves a little bit. And so I will be changing the format slightly of my videos going forward. I'll be changing the look of the channel. I'll be changing a lot of things. You'll be seeing a complete overhaul and a complete rebrand in 2023. And I think that's because, in a way, 2021 was, you know, everything up till kind of 2022 was, it's all been chapter 1 for me. And I think, you know, it's time to turn over that final page and head into chapter 2 in 2023. So I've sort of got to a point now where I feel like the only option is to force myself to regenerate, in a way. And so I am going to be ending chapter 1 on this channel. I'm going into 2023. We'll have a new look, a new brand identity, and hopefully I'll be a lot different as well. Hopefully there'll be a lot of changes, and I feel like, because I've got older, you know, it's time for me to basically grasp the ball by the horn and give it my best shot. So to my future self, to the Doc11th of next year, you're in for a ride and you're in for a treat. And to you guys that are watching, I'm excited for what's to come next. And with that, I'm going to sign off 2022 by regenerating the channel into something new, different,